Well, the first thing I want to tell you, the best thing I want to tell you, is I woke up this morning to sunshine coming through my windows. It was so pretty. And the colors outside my window from the treetops, all the fall colors are just as brilliant as can be. In the next few days, they'll all be gone. I didn't get a chance to go down to the street where you see the Ginkgo trees. I don't know if I can get this. I'm going to see if I can find the pictures I want. Don't think that's going to happen. I had them on my small iPad and I lost them. I put them somewhere else and don't know what I did with them. But I may be able to show them to you later so that you can see the ginkgo trees in my neighborhood. They cover one whole street, and when they are ready to fall, it's just like looking at gold. I can't describe it any other way. And they all fall at one time, and the street is covered with the gold leaves. Today is November the 3rd. Gosh, how time flies. I wish I could get out today, but it's time to tell you about my woes. Don't want any pity. Don't want any so sorry comments. This is just the way life is, the way things happen. I'm going to start with last Wednesday. Last Wednesday was rain, and more rain. Jan said, "You want to go to an estate sale with me?" Well, she didn't have to ask twice. And off we went. It rained Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You know what that can do to your mood. It can pretty get you down in the dumps. But when we finished at the estate sale, and we had a really good day for buying, Jan again hit the mother load, and I couldn't leave an estate sale without buying something. So what did I buy? I bought 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 pictures for my walls. Because there's one problem with that. I don't have enough walls to put those pictures on. I think I'm going to have to take a few down and put some new ones up. That will be good for you. You won't be looking at the same background all the time. I'll show you some new pictures and you will like them. They're very nice. We finished at the estate sale, and she says, "Won't you just go home with me?" Well, I don't know. Okay, might as well. So dreary and rainy, I might as well be out in the country as to be here staring out the window. So we stopped. I grabbed my robe, pajamas, extra pair of shoes, whatever I needed. I grabbed a comb to comb my hair. As you can see, it needs combing. It needs more than combing. It needs to be washed and fixed. So that's all the excuses I'm going to make for the way I look today, except for one thing. Look at my new glasses. Don't you like them? Don't you like the animal print? I've been wanting a pair of animal print glasses. Of course, I got another pair a couple of weeks ago that are big lens, and I like them. They're really good for reading and working around the house. but I wanted something pretty like these. I think they're just gorgeous. Now I'm going to have to find an animal print top to go with them, and gotta have earrings to match. I put the earrings on today so I wouldn't look so grumpy. So let's see. Let's go on with my trip to Jan's house. We get there, and we've got a lot of stuff in their pickup truck to get out and move into the house. And it's still raining, so Charlie was there, and they had company from South Carolina, Charlie's friend Philip. Charlie and Philip were planning the week around deer hunting. Well, things didn't work out quite the way they wanted. Rain and more rain. You know what they can do to anything you plan. So we're going into the house. They helped me up the steps and in the back door, and everybody's carrying something, and I'm carrying my purse. And I get to the kitchen doorway, and I cannot explain to you how it happened or why it happened. But the shoes I was wearing, the most comfortable shoes I have, and I thought they were perfect for the weather. That's what I had on, and I get to the kitchen door, and my feet go sliding across the floor, hardwood floor. I landed on that floor on my feet first, and I slid across on my left side all the way to my shoulder. It was a hard hit. Philip gets down to my feet. It's like, how do we get her up? You know, what do we do? Or how bad was I hurt? Well, I can say this. I don't know how bad I was hurt at the time, but it was painful. So Charlie gets down to my feet, and he says, he takes hold of my hands, and he says, now you put your feet on my feet, right against my feet. Okay, I did. And he took my hand, and he pulled and got me up on my feet. That worked beautifully. But I was throbbing from shoulder to my ankle. Whoa. No broken bones, but that doesn't mean you don't have pain. I looked at my thumb. Now you can see that little dark mark across my, well, can't get my thumb turned around enough. See the little black and blue? This whole thumb was black. Wasn't broken though. There I was, falling on the same leg that has the arthritis in the knee. That wasn't good. I didn't know which was hurting the most. Was it the arthritis, or was it the bruising of my leg? Well, that was going to set the weekend just fine, wasn't it? I stayed there 2 days, and her house was too cold for me. They like a house that's cool. I've got to have the warmth. As you get older, that's what happened to you. You've got to have the warmth. So I decided, I spent the night, and the next day I told Jan, I think I need to go home. So I came home. Now I have spent, okay, that was Wednesday and Thursday, and today's Monday. I've floated through the house. can't do much of anything. Found my walking cane so I could go down and check my mail each day. I was wishing for something good to eat. One thing I could do was stand on my feet. In my kitchen, my small kitchen, there wasn't much walking. It was just sink on one side and the stove on the other side with the refrigerator just back and forth. I was able to prepare food, but I didn't have anything I wanted. And I talked to one of my friends, and he said, would you like me to order a meal for you and have it delivered? He's such a kind person. I said, heavens no. I've got a refrigerator full of food. All I need to do is get it out and heat it up. And I said, we'll save the delivery order for another day when I really need it. Now, how many friends do you have that offer to do things like that for you? Very good friend. Okay, that takes care of my fall for the week. I've got a heating pad here. Never had to use a heating pad in my life, but I'm using it now on my knee. And I'm hobbling around the house trying to figure what I can do to stay busy. Well, for one thing, I laid here on the couch and watched a movie with Lee Marvin. Who was the other? Lee Marvin and I can't even remember who was in. I'll think of his name in a minute. You know who he is. A Western called The Professionals. I think that movie was 4 hours long. And I sat right here on the couch and watched the whole thing. I'll probably be doing the same thing tonight. There's not much I can do when you've got a bad knee and you're afraid of falling. Okay, that's the bad news. But I did get in the kitchen last night and I said, I've got to have something decent to eat. And I found this beef in my freezer. I thawed it. Oh, it was good beef. I thawed it and I put it in my big pot on the stove and cooked it till it fell apart. I've always had good luck with my beef vegetable soup, but every now and then, you know, it doesn't taste as good as it should. And I thought, oh, this has just got to be good this time. I put a lot of stuff in my beef vegetable soup. And when I finished, I made a dish of coleslaw. I make good coleslaw. I will brag a little bit on certain things. My beef vegetable soup, my coleslaw, and my cornbread. There's a combination you can't top. I don't care what the occasion is. It's as good as it gets. And sure enough, my soup turned out perfect. I had a big bowl of soup, coleslaw, and cornbread, and Dr. Pepper for supper. I've got enough beef vegetable soup to feed everybody on my floor. There's 12 units on my floor. But most of those people are gone. They're gone somewhere. So I'm going to be eating vegetable soup for another week. I think I'll be tired of it by the time I finish this up, but thank goodness I could stand in the kitchen and cook. What can I tell my viewers? What can I talk about? I can't think of a good story. I'm just in one of those stages where it's nothing going to work except my knee throbbing. I spent a lot of time last night with that heating pad, and thank goodness I have it. That's my story for the week. I know there was more I was going to tell. Yes. Let me finish. I was expecting a package in the mail. Hadn't come yet. Need to go check my mail. Grab my pretty cane, and downstairs I went to the mail room. And lo and behold, there was the package in the mail, and this was what was in the package, and these were what I was waiting for. So you get to see them first. While I was there, the doorman was there, and another lady had come down. I guess she was checking her mail too. And I heard them say the name Dewey. I said, "What's happened?" I may have told the story about Dewey once before. Dewey's my neighbor that has, oh my gosh, he's got a unit full. He's got beautiful antiques, Tiffany lamps, Waterford crystal. He's got quality stuff. I said, "What are you telling about Dewey?" And she said, "He fell yesterday." Well, goodness gracious, what was that going to do to my story? I was going to tell them about me falling, but that's in sideline. Forget that one. Dewey was coming out of his home, and he fell. I don't know what caused him to fall, but when you're my age, he's only 3 years younger than I am. The neighbors heard him fall, and they all came running. He fell against the door facing, hit his head on the door facing, and was bleeding. So they had to call 911. I don't know anything more than that, other than I have visited Dewey many times, and he always was so easy to talk to, and we had so much in common, especially with collecting antiques and things. So as far as I know, Dewey is probably in the hospital. He lives alone. I don't know if he will end up in nursing home or what. I really hate it, because his unit was one of those that you enjoyed going in and just looking at his antiques. And he was such an easy person to talk to. He and I had a lot in common. We have a lot in common. I don't want to put it in the past, but I know in the next few days or few weeks even, he's going to need special care. And I want you to remember my friend Dewey. He's been here longer than I have, and I've been here almost 26 years. So he has lived at Hanover Towers more than, I'm going to say, 30 years. So keep him in mind when you're saying your prayers for others, because he's alone. and he needs help, and he needs our prayers. So that's just about all I can give you for today, for the week. Just a rundown, we went from rain to sunshine, and 2 people falling on their faces. What more can I tell you? I'm just hoping it'll be a better day tomorrow. I haven't even had my lunch yet, and of course you know what I'm going to have for lunch. I combine lunch and dinner in one meal. So it might be 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it might be 9 o'clock at night. Anywhere in between that is when I have my big meal, and I enjoy it. I wish I could share my vegetable soup with you, but you can just imagine how good it is because I put everything in it except the kitchen sink. Now you've heard that expression yourself. It's got everything in it except the kitchen sink. No, it didn't need the kitchen sink, but I'm going to enjoy it. I'll let you know how today's meal, I'll have to fix extra coleslaw because I only fixed enough for one meal last night, but you can't have vegetable soup without good coleslaw. You can talk all you want to about how good Kentucky Fried Chicken's coleslaw is or any other coleslaw, but until you have eaten my coleslaw, you haven't eaten the best. Just a reminder to you. And it's so simple and so easy to make, and I think I've already told you how to make it in one of my kitchen stories. I'll look it up and see if I put it in print, and if I haven't, I'll post it again for you. So this is just a simple day-to-day talk. I can't think of anything to do. I don't watch TV during the day, but I think I'm going to turn on and see what the evening movies are all about. There's nothing else I want to watch on TV. There are no good shows. Golly Moses, I wish we still had I Love Lucy. And do you remember the sitcom they had on with Danny Thomas? And let me think of some of the others. They're such funny, down-to-earth, good shows. I'd love to see some of those again. And of course, I've watched the Andy Griffith Show till it's worn out. But we still like those shows. You can't stop liking good, down-to-earth family movies. I appreciate your concern. You don't need to worry about me. I'm in good shape. Well, if you want to call it good shape. It's good shape because I'm able to take care of myself. And I'm being very careful about walking. And I spend a lot of time on my sofa. It's getting warm in the middle right now. I sit on it so much. Wish I could think of something interesting to talk about. I don't read the news, I don't watch the news. And that's not what I call good news. Take another look. There's my thumb. That's what's left. That's what's left of the bruising. But this whole thumb, this side of my thumb was black. That could have been my head. Well, I think it still is up here where I fell a year and a half ago. Well, I was due another fall, I'd waited long enough. So, luckily, no broken bones. And there again, Jan said, she's always fallen on her face and she never breaks anything. Yeah, I've been pretty fortunate, 89 years old, and I've had some bad falls, but I never broke anything, unless it was the glass I was holding or something. I might have broken a glass, but other than that, I'm in fine shape. Now, get this face smoothed out a little bit. I'm not wearing any makeup. See how I would look? Not too bad, considering I'm 89 years old. Oh, I did want to mention, phone rang this morning. I didn't recognize the number. I'm not going to answer phone. They'll leave a message. If it's somebody I want to talk to, I'll call them back. So I let that pass. About 30 minutes later, phone rang again, and I noticed it was the same number. Now, these scam calls or spam calls don't usually call you twice in 30 minutes. And I thought, when they left the message first, I couldn't understand what he was saying. So this time I noticed leaving a message again, and I thought, I think I better answer this time. So I did, and by chance, it was a good friend of mine calling from Louisville. Oh my goodness gracious. I could barely understand what he was saying. He had gravelly sound in his throat. This friend of mine, or I should say friends, husband and wife, it's usually the wife that would call me. We don't talk to each other except once, maybe on our birthday, because her birthday is on the 28th or 29th of April, and my birthday is the 1st of May. And we've always remembered each other. And I'm going to tell you about this couple. My husband and I, we married in December of 1954. We moved straight to Louisville. We didn't know anybody there, except his sister. And the church we decided to go to was a half block from where we were living. We could walk to church every time we needed to go. It was a Baptist church, very, very good church. So that's where we settled in as our Sunday morning visit to church. This couple, Joanne and Bill, were one of the first couples we met. They became our best friends. We did everything together. We traveled together. We went to church together. We were like this the whole time I lived in Louisville. Now, I lived there 9.5 years. This friendship has continued 70 years. 70 years. We don't see each other very often. We don't talk very often. But it's one of those situations where you see them, you speak to them, and it's like you were talking to them just yesterday or day before. It's not 3 years, 5 years, 2 years. It's just the same as if they were your next door neighbors. and you picked up where you left off. Well, that's the way it was this morning. Only this time it was Bill calling instead of Joanne. And I thought that a little odd. And I really haven't understood why he happened to be the one to call me. But what he was telling me was now I visited them in their home. They had a beautiful home facing a golf course. You could sit on their back porch and watch people play golf. Even he had played golf with, I think he said, Perry Como. He named some celebrities that he had played golf with on that golf course at their back door. Beautiful home. He said they had sold their house. Why would they do that? They lived there 38 years. Why would they sell their house? They had moved into an assisted living place. Very nice assisted living in Louisville. Bill had had surgery a couple of years ago, heart surgery. I think it was heart surgery. It was very serious, I can put it that way. It was one of those touch and go situations you weren't sure how it was going to turn out. But he survived the surgery, and of course he's retired. But what he was telling me was Joanne has dementia. Ooh. One of my best friends for 70 years. I'm going to have to visit her soon. I will be going to Louisville in the next few weeks. I have to visit her. You know what it's like to have a friend 70 years. When she's gone, I have one more friend. She's my age. We worked together for years in Tennessee. And she called me just the other day. And the funny thing was, when I answered, I said, "Why are you calling me? It's not my birthday." And she laughed because on her birthday, I call her. On my birthday, she calls me. That's the only time we talk to each other all year long. We're both 89. And I answered the phone, and I said, "It's not my birthday." And she started laughing. That's such a good sound to hear someone laugh, a genuine, good laugh. And we talked a few minutes. I don't even remember why she called me. I don't think she even said. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. We were getting to talk to each other. So, I guess that's all I've got to tell you today. I'm getting low on storytelling. And it's getting down to the day-to-day situation. What about at Kroger? Whether or not my knee is hurting. Yes, I went for a drive today. I talked to so-and-so. I did this, and I made vegetable soup. So that's what you get to hear today, and probably the next time I call. It won't be vegetable soup. It'll probably be a meatloaf or something like that, 'cause I do a pretty good meatloaf too. So, and that's something you see you can eat for 4 days. When you get through eating it hot, then you start eating it as sandwiches. And I eat the same thing with my meatloaf, except I like mashed potatoes with meatloaf. I like coleslaw, and I like cooked carrots with meatloaf. So that's my routine, one of my routines when it comes to eating. And I do pretty good with grilled cheese sandwiches too. I like grilled cheese sandwiches. I've gotten to where instead of using butter on the bread, I use mayonnaise. And it gets you such a nice crisp, light crisp toast for your grilled cheese sandwich. Keep that in mind. You might want to try it too. So I'm going to get off here now. I've got my Dr. Pepper sitting here, and I think I'm hungry I'm going to have in the mornings you call it a brunch. I don't know what you call it in the afternoon. Lunch and dinner. I can't come up with a word that would work, but you already know it will be good because it was always good left over. Thank you for watching, and don't worry about my injury. I'm healing just fine. Thank you.